everybody, and welcome to the Wealthy LaLa show with myself, Lauri Larson. Today is episode 200-2. How are you today? I wanted to read something from the Change Me Prayers. I'm not sure what. We are going to be surprised. Yeah. All right. So, let's see here. Okay, so this one is chapter 46, The Missing Teeth. Years ago, back when I still gave readings at my home. Did I read this one before? I'm just wondering. I'm wondering. Well, you know what? We're just going to go with it, people, because I'm going to trust. I may have read it myself or I read it before, but either one. So, The Missing Teeth. Years ago, back when I still gave readings. So this book is Change Me Prayers by Tosha Silver. Okay. They're the hidden power of spiritual surrender. Years ago, back when I still gave readings at my home, a German woman named Aura booked a session. She was stunning inside and out in a dramatic Leo way, with a wild mane of curly hair, red hair that trailed after her like an inferno. When I looked into her piercing green eyes, I could only see kindness and purity. And yet, she had come because she truly suffered. She'd grown up as the only child in an alcoholic home. Her dad swung from a generous to violent in a heartbeat, and her mom ran ragged all day fending off his disasters. Though Aura had been in a 12-step program for codependency, she was still haunted by a childhood event that she could not shake. In a way, it symbolized her whole life. She was desperate for help. Back when she was a teen, she'd gone out to dinner with her parents one night. Her dad had dentures and occasionally went out without wearing them until he had to eat. When the main course arrived, he looked at his wife and beckoned for the teeth from her purse. She rummaged through it and whispered weakly, "No, I don't have them. They must be in your pocket." Aura's dad pounded his fist on the table so the water glasses shook and other diners looked over. "No," he growled, "I gave them to you. You must have accidentally left them on the plate when the waiter took our appetizers." Now this was an insane statement that made zero sense. But Aura's mom knew better than to argue. She sighed with deep resignation. "So what should I do?" He shot her a disdainful look and then signaled to the waiter with one finger. "Young man, my stupid wife has lost something important in your trash, so she must look through all the bins in your kitchen. I need you to take her there now." Aura's mom sat there looking exhausted and mortified. The waiter seemed surprised by this nutty request, but then just acquiesced. Something commanding about Aura's dad made people often obey him. So Aura's mom was brought back to the kitchen to rifle through can after can of garbage on a delightful denture hunt. Aura sat slumped at the table, her head in her hands, quietly crying. Her father fumed beside her in sullen fury. A half hour later, her mum returned empty-handed, pale and wan. Nada. She'd emptied and examined every filthy trash can she could find. Her tired eyes glanced fearfully at her husband's reddening face. He reached for the handkerchief in his breast. Oh, he was truly about ready to explode. Sweat covered his brow. He reached for the handkerchief in his breast pocket, and there they were, the teeth. "Oh, look," he suddenly sang out. "They were here all along. Too bad you had to go through all that. What a shame." So in our work together, Aura saw how she replayed her mom's codependent drama in countless ways. She was constantly attracting the garbage of others, an unconscious yet devoted recruit in scavenger hunts commanded by crazy people. She was ready to resign from being the world's best trash collector. The divine could finally bring in a new life. So the prayer for this chapter is, change me, divine beloved, into one who feels deserving to set boundaries anywhere they're needed. Fill me with clarity and courage when I'm around those that are raging and destructive. May I always remember who I really am, a spark of your love, deserving of dignity, kindness, and self-respect. Keep me centered in even the most challenging situations, able to say no to abuse. Let me love myself as you love me. Oh, I'm going to read that again. Change me, divine beloved, into one who feels deserving to set boundaries anywhere they're needed. Fill me with clarity and courage when I'm around those who are raging and destructive. May I always remember who I really am, a spark of your love, deserving of dignity, kindness, and self-respect. Keep me centered in even the most challenging situations, able to say no to abuse. Let me love myself as you love me. And like with that last sentence, let me love myself as you love me. As I've come to know myself, as I've come to more and more love myself. So one of the things we were asked to do before we went to Dr. Joe Dispenza's workshop was a mind movie. So basically it's a PowerPoint presentation with music that inspires you and affirmations on each picture. And one of the pictures that I used is a picture of me with some beautiful roses that I was given to from a friend, and my face is over it, and I'm holding these pictures, and I've just got this blissed look on my face, and I've put, I love myself. And I have found more and more through this journey, and the more I was able to do it, because it was a muscle. I didn't really know it before. I didn't know it was a possibility. I just had a sense that there was something different. So it was like an ancient knowing within myself that I could love myself, even though I had no idea. I didn't have a reference point for as far back as I can remember. And so when I sat with it, and like the more I have come to love myself, the more I've come to know myself as loving myself, and at some points it's like 5%, and then another time it's 50%, and then it really exponentialized through taking, Dr. Joe's workshop, because he has such a sense of love for the world and what he desires to create, and the words that he shares, the way he speaks through the meditations, the presence he has with us. There was he called it a monastery. He called it like not his monastery, but a monastery of, I don't know what he would call it, but he called it a monastery. So but he brought us to this, if we could receive it, to this beautiful sense of love and sweetness and kindness and safety and beauty with the people around us, the way the team looked after us, the way we were taken care of. And through all of that, and then the experiences he invited us to, I was able to see myself as someone that I've become so incredibly proud of. And like to connect with that, and to connect with that energy, to know myself as someone worthy and someone who is a part of the divine, that the divine hears, watches, and adores. So going back to what I was saying is that the more and more that I've had that, the less, the less and less I am impacted by other people, that and the clarity that I have, with myself and with others. I found myself last night, I found myself getting cranky, just an old pattern. Um, and I was starting to get a little cranky with my husband, and I thought, well, Lauri, I could choose this or I could choose something different. So I decided to go and do a meditation. Now, when I went and did my meditation, I ran the risk of missing my son who was stopping by. But I chose the meditation anyways. And then when my meditation was almost done, my hubby opens the door, not knowing if I was done or not, but opens the door. I'm still in my meditation, and he lets me know our son is here. And I got cranky with him again. And so whether the crankiness is someone coming at you, or it's you at someone else, or it's you at you, it's the more you love yourself, the more it's like huge kangaroo balls that this crankiness, this anger, this frustration, this disappointment, this discouragement, this whatever stands out. And it's all changeable. It's all changeable. And so it was really awesome because I was able to really witness myself and invite myself to something different. I got to see, have you ever heard that story where, like, if you take an orange and you squeeze an orange juice comes out of it? So if you take a lemon and squeeze a lemon juice comes out of it. So when you squeeze an orange, you don't get lemon juice out of it, you get an orange out of it. So if you're squeezed in life, if you're pressurized in life, and anger comes out and frustration comes out or discouragement comes out or whatever, that's within you. No matter how much life is coming at you, your reactions are what are from within you. And what I'm noticing is the more and more and more and more that I love myself, the less that's okay for others to do that to me, for me to do it to myself, or for me to do it to others. It's just not okay. And I don't have to judge myself for it. Like, we live in a very, very, very judgmental society, and we don't actually have to judge ourselves for it anymore. Because judgment, like, to create a space where you don't have to judge you anymore for when you do something that after you did it, you wished you wouldn't have. This is when we want to invite in more awareness. Divine, universe, God, source, please help me have more awareness. There's a question that Dr. Joe has that he asks himself. Okay, let me just see if I can, I gotta see if I can find it here. There were so many different things. Oh, I did find the page. Okay, so, what's holding me back? What's holding me back from me becoming the person I want to be? So when you choose something like that, like me choosing my cranky last night, okay? It doesn't matter why I did it, okay? I can be aware, do I maybe need more sleep? Did I maybe need to meditate earlier? Like, was there something that I needed to do different? You can use that as information. And what's holding me back from becoming the person that I want to be? And whether you're like in the story from this book, where someone has crapped on you 1, 10, 100, just too many times, what's holding you back from becoming the person that you want to be, where you're like, I love myself so much that that's not okay. that you let it be okay that that's not okay. It's not okay that someone treats you like that. It's not okay that you treat you like that. I've heard it twice now in this last couple weeks. And where it's like we have so much judgment of what other people are doing or saying. So you'll hear someone, they'll be like on Facebook or they'll be on something and they're complaining about you know, um, Trump, or I don't know, they're complaining about something. They're complaining about the weather. They're complaining about something. And they don't actually realize their awareness of their complaining about other people. Like it's almost like take care of your own home. Come into your own world and find that love for yourself. And I can guarantee you it will create such a different it creates a completely different world. Like I kind of talked about that on yesterday's show, that my awareness of the beauty that I'm seeing, and I'm really aware that it's because I see so much more of my own beauty now, that I'm able to see it in the outside world. I'm grateful for that filter to have been opened up or changed. So anyways, on that note, you guys, grateful for you. Thank you for listening. Really, really, really thank you. And till next time.